Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Wednesday, the 31st of August, 2022, last day of winter. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Let's jump into it. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 ended the last trading day of the month down 0.2% to 6,987 points. Given the fairly weak lead-in from Wall Street, it wasn't a bad effort. The energy sector got hammered as oil and gas prices fell back. Woodside dropped 4.5%. While Santos was off 1%. The materials companies also ended lower on the back of falling iron ore prices. BHP and Fortescue both lost nearly 3%, while Rio Tinto was down 1%. The banks were among the best performers, with National Australia Bank up 2%, Westpac up 1.5%, and Commonwealth Bank, ANZ and Macquarie all rising around 1%. Story number 2, retailer Harvey Norman said people are still spending money despite higher interest rates and the rising cost of living. The group said sales over the past couple of months were solid compared to a year earlier, all COVID things considered. Net profit for the full 2022 financial year was down nearly 4%, thanks to COVID restrictions in the second half of last year. The low unemployment rate and savings buffer built up during the pandemic, however, is helping the retailer now. It's a fairly vanilla result, so I went looking for something I didn't know. And here it is. Harvey Norman has 544 Australian franchisees. It has 109 company-owned stores across New Zealand, Slovenia, Croatia, Singapore, Malaysia, Ireland, and Northern Ireland, which generate about 25% of pre-tax profit, and it has a big property portfolio. There you go. Story number 3, plenty of other profits around today. Toll road group Atlas Arteria confirmed that Suter IFM Investors wants to nominate a director on its board after announcing a trebling of net profit. IFM owns about 19% of the group and has indicated it may make a takeover bid. Atlas Arteria's share price finished up a touch today. Lower production at Gold Digger St Barbara triggered a big net loss, and its share price fell initially before ending the day about 0.5% higher. Fellow gold miner Perseus delivered a record profit and bonus dividend. It mines in Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana and has been a star the past few years. Its share price finished up about 1% today. Another to report a loss today was Biotech Mesoblast. It's in development stage, so you expect losses. Since inception, it's now done about $1.1 billion. Whew. Investors still like it though. When they heard the news, its share price jumped 9%. Another in the sector to do well, Clinuvel Pharma, closed up 16% after it released its results last night. Webjet was upbeat about its prospects and its share price jumped 8%. PointsBet, which mostly operates gambling out of the US, announced a widening of losses. That sent its share price down 12%, and it was the worst on the day. Story number 4, persistent rainfall, labour shortages and cost pressures led to an unexpected decline in construction work last quarter. The run of numbers around growth in June has been weaker than expected, and GDP, due out next week, could disappoint. Construction work completions fell nearly 4% in June, according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics. Driving the decline was a steep 6.8% in the value of residential building work done in June. That's about $1.3 billion. And story number 5, US stocks closed lower this morning for the third straight session as a jump in job openings added to reasons why the US Federal Reserve will aggressively lift interest rates. The broad-based S&P 500 is now down more than 5% since last Friday, when Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell reaffirmed the central bank's determination to raise interest rates. And before we leave the US, a House of Representatives Oversight Subcommittee has asked regulators and industry leaders what they're doing to stop cryptocurrency fraud and other scams. Just another step towards the regulation of digital units. That's it for the afternoon report for Wednesday, the 31st of August, 2022. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Twitter and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. The top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.